So, let me begin by saying that I just recently went to the movie theater and saw The World's End, and I highly recommend it. If you have the means, go out and see it right now. It is probably one of the best films I've seen this year. So that said, now let's talk about one of the best films I saw last year, which is why I own a copy. In fact, I don't have to look it up on my phone this time. I can just read the back of this thing. Judge Dredd, or Dredd, or as it was called in the theaters, Dredd 3D. Directed by Pete Travis, screenplay by Alex Garland, starring Carl Urban and Olivia Thirlby. So this movie takes place in the world of Judge Dredd, which is a comic book series that I've never read, but it takes place in a giant mega city. You know, America has basically been nuked down to one big city, and in that city, crime is so bad that law enforcement officers are judge, jury, and executioner. And this is why Judge Dredd introduces himself as the law. Like early in the movie, he says on the radio, you know, attention, this is the law, and he tells these criminals to back off. And of course, this is where his ultimate catchphrase comes from: "I am the law." You know, that is what he has to represent, and this is what makes for a very interesting dynamic with Judge Dredd. As a friend of mine who has read the comic books has explained to me, the thing about Judge Dredd is that he's not really a character. You never see him go through a crisis of character. You never see him wonder about whether it's the right decision or not. No, because he is an absolute. He is the law. He has to judge people, and he has to always be right, which is why he never is wrong when you think about it. You know, the whole movie is him giving this assessment of his rookie partner, Anderson. She's given her rookie assessment to see if she has what it takes to be a judge. So not only is he judging criminals left and right, he's judging her through the entire movie. And she has an actual character arc. It is just Judge Dredd from start to finish in this film. This is why it makes sense that he never takes off his helmet. You don't really see his whole face. I mean, he doesn't need a completely human face. He is the judge. He is the law. That's all he has to be. That's all he has to represent. While as Anderson, the only time she's wearing her helmet is when she's riding the motorcycle. The time we see her as a person, we see her face, we see her character arc. We see how she starts out as someone who wants to make a difference, and then ends as someone who understands what it takes to make a difference, what it takes to be a judge. The fullness of that arc is realized in the beginning when they're about to go into their first shootout, and he says, "You ready, rookie?" And she's just, yeah, sure, I'm ready, sure." And you can see the nervousness on her face. All right. However, after she goes through everything that she goes through, by the end of this film, they're about to take down the crime lord that owns this entire building. Okay. He says to her, "You ready, rookie?" And or I think at that point he actually calls her Anderson. She says, "Yes," and he looks at her, "You look ready." And so it's his judgment that gives the audience the cue that, yes, she has reached the fullness of her character arc. She has been through hell and back, and she knows exactly what it means to fight crime in this world. Compare this film to the Raid Redemption Up and Down over and over again. They even say that one film is a ripoff of the other, and I don't care. Both films are great action films because they keep it simple, because it's all kept within one location, and you know exactly who the good guys are, you know exactly who the bad guys are. And that's really all you need in an action film, whether it's a sci-fi action film or a modern-day action film. That's all you need. You just need to keep it simple. I've worked as an actor. I've worked as a writer. Both art forms follow the same rule, KISS, the simple rule of KISS, KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. Dredd is a movie that contains itself, that keeps it simple. The action is straight to the point. You know exactly who the good guys are, who exactly the bad guys are. And great casting all around on, on the three major roles: Judge Dredd, Anderson, Mama, and every other role too. I can't think of one bad performance. Everyone in this world feels like, it just feels like such a gritty world, a post-apocalyptic world of crime and depravity, and everyone just trying to survive as well. You also get the feeling of just people trying to survive all the crime and depravity. And, in the midst of it all, it makes sense that Judge Dredd is who he is, that Anderson is who she is, that Mama is who she is. The world feels that much more real because it was that well casted and well directed, and I have to give props to the pace of this story too. It is very well paced. It never slows down. Action scene after proper plot points in the right place. This is one of those great times where I get to say, Yeah, I'd love to tell you the number one reason to see this film, but the number one reason to see this film is that it's just a great film. It is a great story, well-paced, well-filmed, well-casted. It is just a great film. For that reason, you should see this film. Unless maybe science fiction action, R-rated action is not your thing. I think I said something similar in my RoboCop review. If you don't like sci-fi action, if you don't like too much blood on the screen, then maybe this movie's not for you. But beyond that, see this movie. It is a great movie. Really, there's nothing more to say about this movie, except that it's a great movie. It's one of my favorite movies. That's why I have a copy, and you should check out this movie if you ever have the chance. And you should check out my links down below, and please click like and subscribe, and please leave a comment. Let me know what you think of my review. Until then, SourceFed Movie Club, thank you for choosing great movies. Especially a movie as great as this one. Keep on choosing great movies, and I'll see you next time on SourceFed Movie Club.